Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead. Welcome back if you're returning to the channel, and a big warm welcome if this is your first time. A little bit of guidance for the week ahead. If you're watching this in the date that's printed on the cover, great. If you're watching at a later date, there are still things that are going to apply, divine timing and all of that. So just take I probably have already said this, but take what's helpful, leave what isn't. Your kind of seminal card this week is the Two of Pentacles. It's not your first card, it's the card that's slap bang in the middle. And the Two of Pentacles, unsurprisingly, often talks about weighing up of options or trying to balance the practical with the imagined, or trying to find balance within our life. And on one side, we have the Justice card and Strength. A really, really lovely pairing, because the Justice card represents truth, fairness, equanimity, equality, doing things that we believe in, that we feel are morally and ethically correct. And what's really nice is the Strength card is the card, it's ruled by Leo and ruled by the Sun. It is the card that represents being a channel for grace and having strength that isn't merely physical strength, but a strength of character, a strength of heart, themes around loyalty or standing behind your belief system, even in the face of adversity. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Well, you're probably going to face a bit of a moral dilemma this week, Sagittarius. That's the sense of it. And that moral dilemma may raise about there's a particular theme with all the fire signs this week with Aries and Leo, and you're kind of no exception, but it is playing out slightly differently, of placing the material world, particularly finances, ahead of everything else. Now, for the Aries and Leo, that represented itself in the Ten of Pentacles. For you, it represents itself in the Devil. Now, you might think, oh gosh, what does that mean? That looks like it's going to be a terrible week. Not at all. It's actually a good thing to see the Devil within your reading. And I say that because some of this moral and ethical dilemma is going to feel more pronounced. For Aries and Leo, there might be a case of kidding yourself or kind of slightly averting one's eyes or ignoring the obvious truth, or ignoring the obvious, perhaps. Whereas for you, Sagittarius, I think that's going to feel a bit more ethically sticky. It's like, well, I could turn a blind eye, but it doesn't feel right. You may find that there's a scenario that arises for you this week where you could do something that would benefit you. It's not necessarily selfish, but you would reap the rewards, or you would reap the benefits, versus actually doing something that we feel is correct and right. So you might just find yourself, it's slightly the angel and devil scenario that you find. And I say a lot of that because we've got the kind of Justice card with the Devil card here, and it's almost like either of these are sitting on my shoulders, and this one's saying yes you should, this one's saying no you shouldn't, or vice versa. That's the theme that's going to be coming up here, and you're probably going to find yourself slightly caught in the middle. You may find yourself caught in the middle in terms of relationships, people arguing, people wanting you to take their side, disagreements. Could also be around work. I'm not saying it's exactly this, but it could be one of those instances where you could take the promotion, but it would be at the, excuse me, it's going to be at the detriment or the cost of somebody else, or it's those kind of themes where it may benefit you in the immediate, but it's not about you wantonly climbing over people or doing anything like sharpening your elbows by any means, but it's just a bit of a moral and ethical between a rock and a hard place, and it's going to be difficult to know exactly what to do. And this is very much represented as well with the Eight of Swords, the Lord of Shortened Force, of feeling a bit trapped, feeling a bit mentally trapped and bound. There's no hard and fast answer of what path you should follow. The obvious one is, and I know this is perhaps a little bit nebulous, but follow your heart. And please this week, don't do anything that goes against or that just feels ethically and moralistically sticky, because that requires courage. Those times where you think, oh, no one will notice, no one will see, what difference will it make? Well, you will know the difference it makes, and it probably won't sit right. So even though this scenario situation may take you into kind of pole position, actually, is it worth it? And that may be as subtle as gossiping about people, or again, being brought into other people's dramas, or it could be a bit more gross and obvious of you being given a choice of, well, you could get ahead, but you know that it would be detrimental to other people. There is, I know I'm repeating myself here, but it bears repeating. There is a real courage, as the strength card represents, in standing by what you believe in, particularly in the face of adversity, and particularly in times of being against common opinion. You may find yourself, therefore, this week, Sagittarius, you might have a group of people or taking the unfavorable stance. Other people saying that you're wrong. How can you do that? Maybe that's in case of opinions. Maybe that's in case of needing to speak out and speak up, particularly if that is on behalf of those that can't. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The fact that you've got 3 major arcana of justice, strength, and devil shows that these are quite big energies for you this week. It won't be an easy one. No one can really give you the answer. I can feel this energy of really weighing up the options. But ultimately, if you know that it doesn't go against your conscience, then you'll be fine, even if it isn't necessarily the widely accepted response or action. So you might have to let other people's opinions fall on deaf ears this week, as long as you're staying true to yourself. I hope that helped. Very interesting reading, and also very kind of specific around one scenario. So very fascinating. As ever, be sure to check out your rising sun and moon sign. It really helps give you a rounded view of what might be coming up. If you're not sure how to do that and you have no idea what I'm talking about, just check the pinned comment below. It will give you the link on how to discover that for free. As ever, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment below. Be great to know how this reading sits with you. It really encourages me to keep doing these weekly forecast readings. But until next week, have a gorgeous next 7 days, and I shall see you then. Bye for now.